Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, guys? This is Joseph Conlin coming back to you with another AEW Dynamite review right here on the Big Fight Field channel. And last week's numbers for my Dynamite review had about 38 views, and I thought that was really good, especially for a channel that just started. So for everybody that viewed the video, I want to send a thank you to you, and I really appreciate it. And the goal is for this channel to grow every single day. We're going to take it one day at a time, man. And we're going to try to put out the best content we can here for you guys. Okay, tonight's show. Tonight's show was very interesting. Of course, it was another great show put on by AEW. And in my opinion, they hit a home run tonight, but it was also very interesting at the same time. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm just going to get this off my chest right now. One thing that AEW has done successfully for 2 weeks in a row now is have you excited for the next show. Last week, they had you excited for this week. This week, they're going to have you excited for next week, which they accomplished. June, unfortunately, once again, he's sick, and he hasn't been in school for 2 days, and we promise you, you guys are going to see him soon on this channel. Trust me. He's a very smart person, and he's going to bring a lot to the table in these videos. Eddie had work tonight, but he just pitched an idea to me that he thought that I should do my own review, and then later on, he'll do his own review for this show. And I thought it was a great idea. So what you're going to get is you're going to get a review from me, and then you're going to get a review from Eddie to see what his point of view is for the show tonight. This show has me very, very excited for next week. And stating the fact that next week I'm going to be live in Philadelphia for Dynamite. Man, I'm getting goosebumps. I can't wait to get to Philadelphia next week and watch Dynamite live with 2 championship matches and 2 tag team tournament matches in the first round. And I'm just very excited. It feels fresh because I've only been to a few live WWE shows. I've been to Battleground 2017, Royal Rumble 2018, which I thought I had a really great time at that show. That'll be a night I never forget. I went to Raw on March 4th this year, and then I went to Extreme Rules this year. So, being able to go see All Elite Wrestling, representing right now, live next week is so cool. And you guys are going to get a vlog for that. And we can't wait, me and Eddie, to show you our experience at AEW Dynamite next week. Enough talking about next week. I want to talk about what happened tonight. So we're going to start it off talking with the Young Bucks and the Private Party that started the show. And this match was free for you on True TV tonight because of the baseball game. But regardless, this match was free. And this match was pay-per-view quality. I'm talking like this could have been on a Double or Nothing or something like that. This match was fantastic. I can't say enough good things about this match. The crowd very loudly was chanting for the Private Party, was chanting for the Young Bucks, was chanting "This is awesome," was chanting "Tag Team Wrestling." Does that not send a message across the world of pro wrestling? It has to. It has to. Folks, AEW, no question about it, has the best tag team division in the world. And this match, kicking off the tag team tournament, it showed you. They put on probably a candidate for the TV match in all wrestling of 2019. And I'm not joking right there. I'm being dead serious. That might be one of the best TV matches I've seen in 2019 this year. The Private Party. I love the Private Party. Their in-ring ability is off the charts. They are fantastic in the ring. They have so much charisma. Mark Quinn he's amazing. Mark Quinn is absolutely amazing. Flying across the ring, back and forth, delivering suicide dives, and leaping over the top rope to the Young Bucks was fantastic. Isaiah Cassidy, he's another fantastic wrestler. These guys are awesome. And this might be bold, but it's almost impossible not to like Private Party. It's almost impossible not to like the Private Party. The Young Bucks, they're always great. The Young Bucks are probably one of the best tag teams in the world, and they can't have a bad match. As much as people want to say that they're just spot monkeys, okay, but they're still great in the ring. They're fantastic. And you can't take that away from them. And they showed you tonight. For people who aren't familiar with the Private Party, you know them after tonight. They're stars. They were made to be looked like stars. And you know what? The Young Bucks could have won the match tonight. But you know what? They decided to put over the Private Party over themselves. That is being a really good EVP. And for that, I could tip my cap off to Matt and Nick Jackson. And the Private Party is going to face either the Lucha Brothers or the Jurassic Express after next week. And that match might be better than the Young Bucks and Private Party. That's how great this tag team tournament is going to be. I believe it was Mark Quinn who rolled up Matt Jackson to get the 1, 2, 3, and the Private Party get the victory, and they're dancing with the crowd. It was fantastic. So, Private Party with the win. Let's move on to the Chris Jericho segment when he brung out Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, Santana and Ortiz of Pride and Powerful. And their new stable is called the Inner Circle, which I like a lot. I like that name. It fits them, basically. I think it's pretty cool. Chris Jericho showed you an example why we need less scripted promos. Because when you have scripted promos, most of the time they're gonna suck, especially if you're in the WWE. Unscripted promos, Chris Jericho showed you a great example how to cut a great promo. The promo that he cut tonight was fantastic, running down each member of the Inner Circle, saying Sammy Guevara is one of the best talents in the AEW roster, Jake Hager is a powerhouse, and Pride and Powerful are psychos, and are one of the best tag teams in AEW. And then he goes on to say that on November 9th at Full Gear, he is going to kick the shit out of Cody Rhodes and retain the AEW World Championship. And then he goes on to say a really hilarious line that had me cracking, that had me laughing my butt off for about a minute straight. So the crowd is chanting really loudly, "We the people, we the people." Jericho says, "Shut up. We the people is buried and dead and was created by dumb writers on the creative team." And we know who Jericho's pointing that finger at. He's pointing that to the WWE. And I laughed my butt off for about a minute straight. That was hilarious. So, great promo by Chris Jericho right there. And next we moved on to Darby Allin versus Jimmy Havoc in a number one contenders match. And the winner is going to face Chris Jericho in Philadelphia next week for the AEW World Championship. And I didn't mention this when I talked about the Young Bucks private party. They had no commercials, I believe. If you guys didn't notice that match had no commercials. There was a commercial during this match, like right in the middle of it. And I don't know if it's just me, but I felt like it took the steam away from the match. I thought we didn't see a lot. Like, I thought we saw like 10 minutes. And for the 10 minutes we saw, I thought it was pretty good. Darby Allin is super over with the crowd. He's one of the most lovable wrestlers in the world right now. And next week in Philadelphia, the crowd is going to go crazy for him. And they're going to cheer for him hard against Jericho. Is he going to win? No. But is he going to get over? Not a doubt in my mind. Darby Allin is definitely going to get over next week. Jimmy Havoc. I don't know what it is, but something's not clicking. Something's not clicking with Jimmy Havoc, in my opinion. I don't know what it is. A bunch of people like him, but I don't know. I just have to see more of him, I guess, and then hopefully I'll become a fan of him. But as for the match I saw, it was pretty good. I felt like the commercial took it away, so that's that. Darby wins with the coffin drop, and let me just tell you, the coffin drop is a perfect finisher for a guy like Darby Allin. It's great for him. I think it's great. Darby Allin for the win. We moved on to a women's tag team match with Bea Priestley, and let me pronounce this correctly, hopefully, Emi Sakura versus Britt Baker and Riho. I thought this was a decent tag team match. Once again, sorry about that. Once again, I said earlier, like, it's almost impossible not to cheer for the private party. And I meant to mention that with Darby Allin. And I think I have to mention it with Riho. It's almost impossible not to cheer for this woman. She's super over with the crowd. She's got that underdog vibe. She's a lovable babyface. And you just don't want to see her get beat up. That's basically why she's over, I think. And she's a fantastic wrestler as well. Riho has done great things so far in AEW. And I'm really looking forward to see what she's got in her reign as women's champion. Britt Baker and Bea Priestley, they went at it. Very nice exchange at the end. Britt Baker ended up tapping out Emi Sakura for her and Riho to get the win. I felt like Riho at first should have gotten the victory for her and Britt Baker, but a few minutes later we found out that next week it's going to be Britt Baker versus Riho for the AEW Women's Championship, and quite frankly, now I know why Britt Baker got the win for her team. It makes sense, and as a bold prediction right now, I can see B. Priestley costing Britt Baker the match next week and Riho retaining the AEW Women's Championship. But for the tag team match, I thought it was pretty decent. So that's that. And then we got Jon Moxley versus Shawn Spears. And before I talk about the match, I feel like Jon Moxley's theme song is so good. Jon Moxley has that hyped up theme song that you just want to listen to, like at the gym or something, just to get you excited. That's kind of my opinion on it. It gets you amped up. I just wanted to say that real quick. But the match was really entertaining in my opinion. I thought this was brutal in a very good way because most of the match they were outside of the ring. And, Tully Blanchard got involved a little bit. And, yeah, there was a commercial in the middle of the match again, which I didn't like. But this time it didn't take away from the overall match, in my opinion. It was still great. It was a really entertaining match. And at the end of it, Jon Moxley got the victory, which was the right decision because he's shooting with Kenny Omega right now. Where Shawn Spears goes from here, I'm not sure. If AEW introduces a mid-card title, I can certainly see him becoming the first ever champion. But we'll talk about that down the line eventually when AEW announces that mid-card championship. So, after the match, when Moxley gets the victory, Kenny Omega comes out. And by the way, may I note, Pac was on commentary. And Pac was talking about how he's underappreciated in AEW and he thinks it's BS that people like Jimmy Havoc and Darby Allin get chances over him. And he brought up the fact that in the last 2 years, he's only been pinned once. One time. And I stuck that into my head, and I'm going to remember that for a while. So that was a good note to take right there. So back to the Moxley and Omega situation. Omega comes out after the match. He's got a barbed wire bat and a barbed wire mop for the cleaner. Moxley's standing across from him in a pretty far distance. Omega throws the bat to Moxley. He wants to swing off the mop versus the bat, but not so fast. Because moments later, Pac comes up from behind and hits Omega with a steel chair at the back of the head, and that looked pretty brutal. And Moxley was actually sticking up for Omega, which I wasn't surprised about, to be honest. I actually thought during this mid-match that Pac was out there for some reason because something weird was going to happen. And they were going to set up a tag team match on TNT between Pac and Shawn Spears versus Moxley and Omega, which I still could see very possible. But after Pac attacking Kenny Omega, I could see them two facing each other again. Do I think it's going to be next week? No, I think it's probably going to be in 2 weeks when AEW Dynamite goes to Pittsburgh. So I'm saying then we're going to get Pac versus Kenny Omega in a rematch from All Out, which will be very nice. As for this storyline with Moxley and Omega, we'll see where it goes from there. Main event time. We got a tag team match between Dustin Rhodes and Hangman Page versus Chris Jericho and my boy Sammy Guevara. Yes,